I also feel maybe they're trying to like branch out. But
Well, there's 3 shonen still here, so I don't know if I would say that.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. It's that time of the year, Matt.
Yes, it is. Crunchyroll nominations are out.
It's award season.
It's award season. Juno's happened. Grammys happened. Now the best award season.
Did the Oscars happen too?
I think, yeah, everything
those
happened.
out.
This is the last one.
This is the biggest
The
one.
most important.
So they say. Yeah,
us.
so if you're new around here, welcome. I'm Connor. That's Matt.
Oh, hey.
And we like to talk about different nerdy things. And anime is one of those things. So we'll be diving into the nominees for the Crunchyroll Awards, and we'll be picking out our own ballot.
The Nerdy Misfit ballot.
But it won't be just us. We'll be accompanied by Gray, who's been on many a times on the
countless
podcast.
times.
And yeah, so he'll be helping us break down a ballot. We'll be kind of voting together to make one ballot. And yeah, let's jump into it. What is up, everybody? Here we are with Gray. Gray, how are you doing?
never better.
Never better.
Dang.
Are you ready for another exciting Crunchyroll ballot making?
I'm excited to hang out with you guys.
There you go. That says what
Oh, shucks.
thoughts are on the Crunchyroll Awards, I guess. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Well, I guess we should say it was a pretty stacked year for anime. There were some really popular shows, some saying goodbye to some big shows, as well as some newcomers that were really well received. So seemed like there was a pretty good mix on initial viewing.
I would agree.
So I guess without further ado, we'll jump to the big one.
Oh, we're doing the big one first,
yeah,
eh?
we'll just go right to the big one, and
I
then
thought we were going to do that one last.
Well, we'll change things up.
Change
and
it
we're
up
gonna
this
start
year.
off with Anime of the Year first, and that way it's out of the way.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's go over them.
Yeah.
Nominees for Anime of the Year. We have Dandadan Season 2 by Science Haru. Gachiakata by Bones Film. My Hero Academia, the final season by Bones Film. We have Takopi's Original Sin by Enshia. The Apothecary Diaries Season 2 by Toho Animation Studio XOLM. And The Summer Hikaru Died, which also was one of our anime of the months. I believe it was October in 2025. You should check that out if you haven't already. And check out this month's anime of the month, which is
Gundam.
Thank you, Matt.
Which was recommended to us by Gray, as
Which
we
is,
mentioned.
yes.
So this
Was
is this is the guy.
This is the
that's
guy.
me.
This is
Have him on.
The guy.
But yeah, some pretty solid shows. I don't have any complaints. Gray, do you have any shows that you think maybe should have squeezed in, or?
No, I would just say I was just shocked not to see the solo leveling here. Not that I really cared for it to be here, but it's just more of a surprise that it wasn't here.
I did mention to Matt that it is funny that, in my opinion, I don't know if this is everyone's opinion, but I think season 2 of Solo Leveling is substantially better than season 1.
Yes.
And season 1 was Anime of the Year last year. Now, I don't think this is out there because we've said it before on the podcast, but I do think that season 2 ending at around this time last year, when the Anime Awards came out, may have created a little bit of an extreme recency bias for Solo Leveling, not realizing they weren't voting for that season that just ended. I think a lot of people voted for Solo Leveling thinking it was what they just watched, which was season 2 and not season 1.
/ the hype of Soul Leveling season 2. So many people binge season 1 going into season 2.
It's just one thing.
It's just one season in their head.
Yeah, and I think for this year, it came out so early last year that maybe it's fallen, like that hype has fallen off a bit. So it didn't make it through because there's no recency bias.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think that that's a fair assessment?
I agree with that personally. Gray?
Yeah. I mean, I also feel maybe they're trying to like branch out. But
Well, there's 3 shonen still here, so I don't know if I would say that.
well,
there's
solo
3.
leveling is solo leveling a shonen?
It falls into that category.
I would say yeah.
basically.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Still shonen. I guess I just see it as action series, but
I guess it's like a power fantasy. It's not really an isekai though, because reverse isekai maybe things are coming to the real world.
I guess.
But it's like an action. You know, I just feel like a shonen is off, and there's not like the characters are very deep. There's not a lot of.
It's very surface level.
There's some shonen that have way deeper characters than solo leveling. Anyways, this is not a solo leveling.
Yeah.
This is enough of solo leveling. So yeah, I assume Gray, Dan to Dan season 2. That's high on your list of anime that you enjoyed last year.
Yeah. I think they've been doing a pretty good job with the adaptation from the manga. So
It's gonna be surprising, but I would not be upset with any of these winning.
Same.
I think they're all really good shows.
They all have their own reason for winning, I think. Like, if you look at Gachiakura, which is a brand new show for the shonen, Summer Hikaru Died, which has got its own little twist on a story. I mean, Takopi's Original Sin, 6-episode
And it's
anime,
done.
and it's
just
done.
that is the show, yeah.
Dan to Dan season 2 and Apothecary season 2. Like, if you love season 1, you're obviously going to watch season 2. Both beautifully animated in their own way. And then you have the grand finale of My Hero. Like, these all have...
Which they brought it for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bones Film.
Like, it's not
cooked.
here just because it's the finale and people...
The fight
just like
scenes
My
were
Hero.
great. The animation, the song, like...
It was really well
top
done.
tier.
Final season. So the way we're going to do this is, I guess we're all going to kind of vote together. And if we can't come to a consensus, then we just talk it out until we figure out, you know, which one we're going to pick. Who wants to start? Who wants to pick theirs?
Good.
Who wants to put theirs on the table?
Dude, I'll vote for Dan to Dan. Haha.
Okay, we've got a Dan to Dan.
I'd vote for Takopi's Original Sin.
And I would vote for the Apothecary Diaries.
Dang. I think for Takopi's Original Sin, I think the fact that it's not a shonen, I mean, that's crazy, but it's 6 episodes, it's finished. It's such a crazy story that makes you feel so many emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that alone, just like it's obviously deserving of being the nomination, but I think like it's such a unique genre, and I think that if it wins Anime of the Year, it would then like push people to be like, oh, there's more than just shonen.
Well, yeah, I don't want to make it sound like elitist, but it does feel a little bit more on that elitist side of, you know, it's dealing with a lot more.
It's like human drama.
It's got a lot more themes.
Yeah.
But same with The Summer Hikaru Died. It also has a lot of interesting themes and mature themes that aren't explored in a lot of shows.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just the fact that it's 6 episodes, concrete story, start to finish, done.
It is definitely something we don't get a lot of.
It is complete. It is a
we don't
package.
get a lot of, hey, here's 6 episodes of something, beginning to end, and it's gonna make you feel a lot.
Yeah.
I do agree that, and it was well done, well animated, well voiced.
Kept me literally guessing in not necessarily a great way, but
yeah, valid. For the Apothecary Diaries, I just think, as far as shows that I watched, when there aren't many shows that I'm excited for every week. You know that we obviously do a lot of the season previews, and we pick a show that we're gonna pick a few shows that we're gonna watch. Some of those shows we don't watch we'll watch the first 3 episodes and like, okay, we're watching this.
Yeah.
And then we let it go for almost the whole season. And we're like, okay, I have to crank all that out. You know, a little sneak peek behind the scenes. But like the Apothecary Diaries is a show that I was watching every week.
Mm-hmm.
Excited. Like I can't wait for the next episode. And I thought that the arc was a really enjoyable arc. I mean, there's also spoilers in this awards, which I'm not exactly thrilled about later. But I thought it was a really good story arc for and I voted I think it was Free Ran. I think we all voted for Anime of the Year last year. But but the Apothecary Diaries season 1 was my close second.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you know, part of me also wants it to win just because I feel like it deserves so much more last year as well. Gray, is there any budging on Dan to Dan?
I mean, I'll probably end up just picking between you guys. I just voted for Dan to Dan because
it's one of your favorites.
You love Dan to Dan.
Yeah, I love Dan to Dan. So
it was they covered the arc where there was 2 arcs in this season for Dan to Dan, right?
Yeah.
They covered the
What they finished the what was it? They finished getting
the cursed child guy,
yeah.
and then
Jeez. I'm flexing my knowledge here by forgetting things.
and then the
But I also watched this season. The season 2 came out quite some time ago, and the manga were also way past this. But
Dang.
I think Gachiakura is a nice shout. Like you said, Matt has very cool aesthetic. Some of the coolest outfits. I think that's also something that should be a shout out for Dandadan as well. Is the outfits are very cool to see. Like the main characters wearing something different and a lot of like really cool street fashion for Japanese street fashion.
Then with
Gachiakura is not exactly street fashion. It's definitely its own
fashion
thing, but all unique.
Mm-hmm.
Music was pretty crazy.
Looks like Gray, you're gonna be the deciding factor here. Takopi or Apothecary Diaries?
Like I agree with Takabi because of the fact that it's like all encompassing, but I also think that Apothecary Diaries appeals to the more widespread audience.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to flip a coin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could go with either of those. That's the thing. These were all like pretty tight. Like
I'm not.
There's nothing.
Not gonna be upset about. Not gonna be upset about any of them winning. Yeah, great. Go ahead, flip a coin.
I'm supposed to flip a coin. Oh God, where's a coin?
I'm not gonna pull up a coin. I mean, I could say we'd roll a dice, but there are no dice in here.
Yeah, we'll just do this.
Matt's got dice.
I got dice.
You better just break them out because I think we're gonna need them in the future.
I have a coin or I have dice.
I'm ready for a coin flip. What are we doing for heads?
Let's do Takopi for heads, and tails will be the Apothecary Diary.
All right, we're flipping. It's tails.
I don't remember what I said.
I totally don't know what you said either.
You said Takapi was heads.
Oh, okay.
Apothecary was tails. So
like we said, not going to be upset
also,
about
Evil Eye. Finally, things are coming back.
Evil Eye, that's
my
it.
brain.
The Apothecary Diary. Season 2 is our anime of the year. But honestly, all of these were great shows. If you haven't seen any of them, definitely check them out. They were very enjoyable.
Yes.
Oh no!
What? What'd you do?
I have to vote. You guys can all see our email, and you can email us.
I can cut this part
out. Okay, on to the next category. Let's go to Film of the Year.
I have seen 2 of these, waiting to see one of them. One of them I did want to see, and I haven't heard it. The other one.
That was very
okay.
Maybe you should just go through the nominees.
All right, here's the nominees. We got 100 Meters by Rock and Roll Mountain Incorporated, Chainsaw Man the movie, Razor by Mappa, Demon Slayer, The Infinity Castle Part 1 from Ufotable, Mononoke the movie Chapter 2 from Crucell and Iota, Scarlet by Studio Chizu, and The Rose of Versailles by Mappa.
Yep, so I've seen half of these. We have Mononoke on our potential plan to watch list for Anime of the Month, which is why we haven't watched those films yet.
Yep.
Scarlet, Ray, have you seen Scarlet or The Rose of Versailles?
I've seen none of these.
You've seen none of them?
Nope.
Well, then we'll take over. 100 Meters was a very... it was a story that felt a lot more artistic in a lot of ways and deep. Whereas obviously Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer weren't as deep, but were very enjoyable. And I haven't seen the other one, so I'm going to base it off of those 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, for me, Film of the Year is probably Chainsaw Man.
I would agree with that.
I think Demon Slayer, as expected, had some unreal animation. It did feel a little bit long at points.
Yes.
And some odd pacing structure. I know some people didn't care as much when we did the really heavy backstory, and I think the backstory is great. It's in the middle of such an intense fight, and then it feels so long, and then we're going back. It just wasn't for me. It doesn't mean I didn't like the movie. The movie was great.
I think the animation was still pretty, but you already know what you're getting with Demon Slayer. It was fun to see Chainsaw Man on a slightly larger budget, covering one of the best arcs.
Yeah, and 100 Meters is, it was a little bit more heavy focused around like the themes that the movie was trying to tell. And good, but it's not my cup of tea when I'm going into films, to be honest. For
Mhm.
me, I want to just go there, sit there, and enjoy it. And that was Chainsaw Man, where I had the most enjoyment, I think.
Chainsaw
It
Man
was
it is.
perfectly animated, great song, great OST, great art, great action. No complaints.
Moving on to best continuing series.
That'd be correct.
All right. We don't have to worry about the studios because these are such big continuing shows. But we got Dan and Dan season 2, Kaiju number 8 season 2, My Hero Academia the final season, One Piece, Soul Leveling season 2, and Spy Family season 3.
Best continuing series. Also very tough.
Yeah, I think it's.
Matt has definitely a very soft spot for Kaiju number 8.
But
Felt
I
like they
wouldn't
improved.
pick it. They did improve the animation. I will agree. It's the calm before the storm, so it was a nice little like smaller arc, which was good. Doesn't live up to the action of season 1, so I wouldn't pick Kaiju number 8. For me personally, I would pick My Hero just because it's the finale and they really upped it.
They brought it all for the end.
Yeah.
Soul Leveling season 2 was very good. No complaints. Dan to Dan season 2, very solid. One Piece continually trying to do better.
Yep.
Do
Okay,
better.
How many of us are actually up to date with like the One Piece?
I
anime?
am up to date. I've finished season 1 of One Piece.
Wild. I am not. I stopped at the time skip and read the manga.
Oh yeah, no, I stopped somewhere in the middle of Wano. I did not get through all of Wano in terms of the One Piece anime. So I've seen clips of
Yep.
Same.
One Piece stuff throughout the years, and I'll say if the hype moment clips that I saw were animated in the style that I saw, like I can't give them, I can't glaze them like what I feel like some people do. I'm just like, I think it's like, okay, it's fine.
Okay, so we're knocking off One Piece and Kaiju number 8, sounds like.
Spy Family,
Yeah.
Spy
you get what
Family?
you get. Like it's the
Well,
same.
and no, it's not though, because we're starting to get a little bit more backstory in this arc, which is kind of helping it to be a little bit different.
That's
It's not
true.
just the same formula. But yeah, it's competing against some very large guns.
Yep.
No, yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Matt.
You think My Hero?
Yeah, for the continuing series, I do think that My Hero. I mean, I guess the way that we're going about it is like it's not going to be continuing after this.
That's true.
But in terms of
That's no longer continuing, but it was a continuing series.
yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a good send off, and I didn't vote it for
For the anime of the year.
So
And it might
So I
win.
feel
It's probably
like-
gonna win.
It
Let's be
probably
honest.
will
It's
win.
gonna win.
Yeah.
It's not our
So-
vote, but it's gonna win.
I feel like we're.
I think it's fair. I would be okay with honestly Dan to Dan, Soul Leveling, or My Hero. I think those are my like top 3 out of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Any order, really. So I'm okay with doing My Hero final season. On to best new series. Another tough one. Clevitis by Le Douce. Gachiakata by Bones. Film. Sakamoto Days, TMS Entertainment. Takobi's Original Sin, which we've already covered. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity by Cloverworks, and The Summer Hikaru Died. All fantastic shows. I think Sakamoto Days, the second core was stronger than the first.
Yep.
But solid, enjoyable. Clevitis, I really enjoyed, kind of like that dark fantasy that it doesn't feel like we have gone in a while, like a very more traditional dark fantasy feel. It was really enjoyable, but I don't know if it's really as good as the others. I just personally enjoyed it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone stand out for you guys?
I mean, I enjoyed Sakamoto Days, but I don't know if it's like the best out of the 6 that's here. I didn't watch Clevitis or The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
I see. For me, I land between Gachiakata and the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Those are the two that I feel hit the ground like running, and it's
Okay.
also like, and it is like their first season as well. I mean, I guess a lot of these are first seasons.
Well, that's
'cause I think
that's the
all of them are
point.
gonna be
Yeah.
continuing.
Yeah, it's
Except for
the best
Takopi.
new series from last year that was introduced. But Takobi won't be continuing.
Yeah.
Don't
Well, yeah, that's what I was
don't
gonna say.
know if Clevitis
Takopi
will
kinda
get. I know
done.
there's more story, but don't like it's always hard to say if they'll get more. Right?
I'm good with picking Gachi Akata.
Yeah, I'm okay with Gachi Akata as well. Gachi Akata coming in, boom.
Best original anime.
Okay, we've got Apocalypse Hotel, by Sipik.
Yep.
Psypic.
Digimon Beat Break by Toei Animation. Lazarus by Mappa. Mobile Suit Gundam G Kooks. I think that's how it's said. I have no idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. We'll go with that.
Moonrise by Wit Studio and Zenshu by Mappa. I assume Matt has seen one of these and it's Zenshu.
Yeah, I'm biased towards Zenshu. I do want to watch Moonrise, and I just never got around to Lazarus, unfortunately. And the Digimon did
I
seem
feel like
interesting for me, but
You've also only watched Zenshu on this list, haven't you? Or did you watch something else?
I watched the 3 episodes of Lazarus, and I've seen clips from Apocalypse Hotel. So-
Yeah. I was gonna say my bias, maybe because Matt's bias. I mean, I did watch Zenshu and Apocalypse Hotel, but my pick was Apocalypse Hotel for sure. I feel like it's also an all encompassing story. You're not missing anything, and to me, it doesn't really miss any of its beats either. When watching Zenshu, there was times where I'm like, I don't know if I exactly like where this was going.
Okay,
That's
sure.
fair. We'll
We
do
can go with
Apocalypse Hotel.
Apocalypse Hotel it is.
Sorry, Zenshu. Next up, we got Best Animation. We got Dan Dan Season 2 by Science Saru, Gachi Akata by Bones Films, My Hero Academia Final Season by Bones Films, One Piece by Toei Animation, Soul Leveling Season 2 by A1 Pictures, and then Takopi's Original Sin by Initia.
One of these is surprising to see.
Yep.
And
That is
it's One Piece.
What, you don't
not
think
that-
Toei's killing it?
I mean, they have improved immensely over, I'm thinking back to Dressrosa, which was just not the best.
Yeah.
But it's come a long way. But also at the same time, there's still a lot of pacing issues, even with the attempts at improving. I mean, that there's a reason why we've just cut it off now and ended, and they've gone to now a seasonal format where they're only going to be releasing so much per year, and that's because it's just bad. The pacing is bad. It doesn't matter, even if the animation is to Demon Slayer levels.
I
It
don't
just
even think
doesn't.
is. I think it looks but that could just be me. There's
Well,
there's so many things about One Piece that.
But it could also be the art style that it doesn't, right? Because they change. That's the other thing they're also changing. It's not just the animation style they're changing. They're also
don't consider
change the art style every arc.
When you have
Yeah.
repeated
Frames.
repeated uses of
Repeat
like frames and
whole
stuff,
sections
like,
of.
to me that doesn't really count as best either. I'm like, you're not trying your best.
So that's why it's going to a seasonal. So that hopefully we'll see an even better quality. And I think one of the other reasons they're doing that is soon they're going to be competing against Wit
Yep.
for One Piece. And
So, yeah.
what are people going to compare Wit's One Piece to? They're going to be comparing it to One Piece.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I'm good with any of the other 5 winning. I think like all of them have good, solid animation. Bones Films, I mean, their budget was great for both My Hero and Gachi Akata. So like,
I'm leaning towards Solo Leveling and My Hero.
I agree there. I couldn't.
I think
I mean,
Solo
I do
Leveling's
like-
action.
I do think Science Saru is good, but Gachi Yakuda I don't think I could ever put in best animation.
Yeah,
just because-
CGI. I know.
Yeah. I mean, but you can't tell me some of those giant garbage monsters actually look good.
Oh no, they were ugly, but I mean, the scenes that mattered were really well animated. But I have to tip my hat to A1, who I don't think comes to a lot of people's minds as like the high action, great fight choreography kind of studio.
yeah.
And I think they did a really great job with the fights in Solo Leveling Season 2. But I'm kind of leaning towards Bones for My Hero, where they just brought it every episode.
Yeah, the final fights were just really well done. They weren't like jarring in any way, in my opinion.
But for me, it's more, if we're just comparing fights, then I might go more to Solo Leveling for the choreography, because I think the choreography is better. But it's
The visuals
it's
overall.
past just
Yeah.
the regular more normal scenes
Yeah.
of talking or flashbacks. Like they're all really well done in My Hero.
I'm good for My Hero.
Tagopi's also just
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah, it's just
Throughout
there's
as
nothing
well.
wrong with that. But
Gray, you good with My Hero?
Yeah, I was my hero solo line are fine with me, so I have no
My
no
Hero,
complaints with those two.
beautiful. Next up,
best
character design.
We got Dan to Dan, very solid. Gotcha Akata, very solid. Dress Up Darling, very solid. One Piece,
They got unique character design, that's for sure.
well, they all wear different outfits and they introduced some
Yeah.
new and old characters coming back, I think. Takobi's Original Sin. Just trying to think.
Pretty-
Pretty run of the mill. Nothing
Yeah.
too crazy. Pocket Theory Diaries. I do very much enjoy the characters' outfits. I don't know if the overall designs are,
They don't.
but I feel like this one's a pretty easy. I don't know about you guys, but this one was a very easy one for me.
I could like the thing is with a lot of these Dan to Dan ones, I could always put Dan to Dan, which is why I threw it in for my pick for anime of the year, and then I kind of try to focus on other picks for other things. So for this one, my heavy stance leaning was actually to Gotcha Kuta.
Yeah, Gotcha Akata is mine as well. I just think I really liked the outfits. All the characters are very unique, both in hairstyle. We even have the female characters, the male characters.
I feel like even if you don't know characters' names, you can like pick
Yeah, you
them
can
out,
tell who
and
they are very easily.
You can kind of see who's what, and then it's also it's easy to tell what's going on. Where you're like, oh yeah, or you could the style as well. You could just be like, yeah, that's from this anime.
Yeah, that's another big part. Like if you were to just take a still, you just know. You're like, oh, that's like just take like a villain from the. You're like that has to be.
Yeah,
Gotcha Akata. So that'll be our vote.
Next up, which I know that I'm going to butcher these names.
Oh dear.
Best director. We got the director of Apothecary Diaries from Toho Animations, which is Akinori Furisaka and Norihiro Naganuma. We got the director of Dan to Dan, which is Fuga Yamashiro and Abel Gongora. Gotcha Yakuta's director, which is Fumihiko Suganuma. And then we got the director of My Hero Academia Final Season, which is Kenji Nagasaki and Naomi Nakayama. The director of The Summer Hikaru Died, which is Ryohei Takashita. And then the last one is the director of Takopi's Original Sin, which is Shinya Lino. I think it did okay.
Yeah,
well done.
Well done. Best director is very tough, I think, for an anime perspective, because obviously none of us, I don't think, are going heavily behind the scenes and seeing how much, because one, I don't know if these are the director for all the episodes, because some shows have multiple directors through multiple episodes. I don't know if this is the director who is making sure everything is cohesive, because that's also can be different for different shows. But as far as telling the story and not forcing or prolonging and making sure the pacing was good, my vote goes to Kopi's Original Sin, personally, just due to the fact that I feel like it wouldn't be shocking to see someone make it longer.
Yeah, could have cut that into more episodes, prolong certain things, but
get more out of it. Yeah. But they were like, hey, these are the points. This is the way we're going to tell the story. And 6 episodes. Done.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no real opinions on directors. When it comes to anime, I find I attach myself more to. Still, even when the anime comes out, I still attach myself to the manga author or the original work creator, or light novel authors.
Well, and you've read Takopi before, right? Before you,
I read it and I didn't watch it. I've not watched it. So.
Right,
interesting.
So I've only read it. And as I said, I'm more attached to the authors. So when it comes to directors, and yeah, even despite I know a decent amount about anime, but in terms of directors' roles in it, I actually am not as well versed. So
All right.
I just assume that they're a good, they help direct the product to
We
where
would
the
not
final
have
form
yeah.
where it should be.
We wouldn't have
Yeah,
it
like
without them.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. I'm hoping that they're the ones, piloting and making sure the ship lands where it's supposed to land.
Yeah,
So
fair enough. Best background art. We got City the Animation by Kyoto, Dan to Dan, Gachiakata, Kowloon Generic Romance, and the Pocket Theory Diaries, The Summer Hikaru Died. So we have 2 new ones. Some that we've already seen before. Best background art. It's hard for me not. I think we also voted for last year was
Yeah.
the Apothecary Diaries, and
A close second for me is Summer Hikaru Died, though. I think like the skies and like the visuals.
well, and the
in
attention
that
to detail if they
regard were
had
just
any
good.
monsters or anything in the background as well
Yeah,
was good.
but I will agree. Apothecary Diaries, like the background art's just so beautiful. It really immerses you into the world.
Yeah, it's just incredible. The palace, the scenes of just nature.
Yeah.
Honestly, they do such a good job with all the trees, the water. It really does a great job of, yeah, like you said, just putting you there.
Yep, I agree.
Great.
yeah, I agree. Apothecary Diaries. Don't the background art. It's always like when it comes to these votings, as you guys know, I'm not like a hypercritical. I just like to enjoy and watch things, and I don't like what I think looks bad, and I like what I think looks good.
Yep.
So when it comes to some of these, I will say, and I do at least I didn't notice in Apothecary Diaries if we had a lot of the CG background with a bunch of CG people kind of shenanigans. If they were there, they were hidden well enough to where I didn't outright they didn't stick out. I'm sure they existed, but that's what I'll say. So I'm like, oh yeah, it was immersive. But yeah, for the other ones, it's fine.
Yeah, fair. On to best romance. We have Blue Box by Telecom Animation. We have Dan to Dan, Honey Lemon Soda, My Dress Up Darling. We have Ranma. Half.
Ranma 1/2.
Never even heard of it. Sorry. Apologies to Ranma
Ooh.
fans.
Never
Even
heard of
I have
Ranma.
heard of that
And
one.
The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, which, if you haven't seen it, is trapped in Netflix jail. Unfortunately, but if you do have Netflix, you should definitely check out. And it's going to get my vote.
I've only, like of the 6 here, I've only seen Dan Dan season 2, and I've seen clips from Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and it looks like definitely hits that romance.
Yeah, I'm interested. You have you ever heard of Urusei Yatsura, Connor?
Yep.
Yeah. Ranma 1/2 is the same manga author who writes Urusei.
Okay.
You might have seen clips of Ranma. Ranma's like it's a character who changes their gender when they're touched by different temperatures of water.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, and it's just like about the antics that get involved with that, and slight martial arts as well.
Slight martial arts, because you need it.
Yeah. Well, that's they got cursed. I think the backstory is they got cursed. I'm not sure where. It might have been in China when they were like the main character Ranma was like fighting over some cursed river or something, and they fell in the river, and then that's how they got cursed to be like gender change with the water. Yeah, they had like an earlier anime as well. Like this is
Well,
like
because they did
this is like a fruit. Yeah, this is like a fruit baskets treatment. Like a
but
second,
they did the previous anime as well, right? They did a new.
Yeah, they did a like whatever you want to call reboot or recap
Yeah.
of Urusei Yatsura as well. So lots of love for Rumiko Takahashi. She's cool, manga author. She's also the one who did Inuyasha. She has like these are like she's done like 3 super massive, like those are like some massive works in terms of manga.
Pumping them out too. That's
Yeah, no, she's legendary, that one. Anyway, when it comes to the romance stuff, I mean, for this, even though Dan to Dan has like romance elements, I never really consider it a hard like this is a romance show.
Yep.
so I don't really count that. Blue Box, to me, it would be between three. It would be between Blue Box, Dress Up Darling, and Fragrant Flower. And I think Fragrant Flower is just one of the best romance series.
Yeah, I think it was
Period.
really solid, very cute. It also is like a
So,
true romance, in the sense
mhm.
where Blue Box is almost more of a coming of age kind of style of romance, and My
Yeah,
Dress Up Darling is much more rom-com. It's not full romance feeling. It's not like
yeah, Fragrant Flowers, and I find myself like Fragrant Flowers like just really like the characters and everything. They're so relatable. You want to root for
yeah, you
them.
can believe it. It's very believable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll throw that into an anime of the month for you, Matt.
Good.
And Troy, if you're watching.
Yeah, the Fragrant Flowers. The last thing I'll say about it is I was aware of the manga, but I hadn't read it. And then, just like anime always does, when I watched like the very first episode of the anime, I just went and picked up whatever volumes of the manga were available in physical print. I was like, okay, I'll pick this up, and then finished off the anime and then read the manga.
It's fair. On to best comedy. We have City the Animation by Kyoto, Ranma 1/2, Dan to Dan Season 2, Spy Family Season 3, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, and Witch Watch. Comedy. That means makes you laugh,
Yes.
assumedly. And as far as just makes me smile, I don't know if any of them have truly made me
A good like haha.
laugh, but always makes me smile and feel good. If I just want to feel good and smile, it's Spy Family. City the animation was solid. Dan to Dan definitely enjoyable. I just don't know if I'm ever truly laughing. Some of the jokes are definitely a little bit more targeted towards the audience that shonen's targeted towards, and I don't really find it funny. And I don't know, Dress Up Darling, there's just funny moments, I think, but not.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Dress Up Darling. Even though there were like, yeah, as you said, it's like rom com moments. It's still at its roots
Yeah,
a
it's like
general romance.
it's a
Like
rom com.
I don't put it like yeah. If we're talking comedy, as in like yeah, I'm supposed to be laughing along with the show. It's not really what I'm doing when I'm watching Dress Up Darling. You'll have like a little laugh here and there, but
And unfortunately, I
so
haven't
wait,
seen
did
Witch Watch.
you said you watched City the Animation?
Yep.
Okay. Have you ever seen Nishijo?
Well, I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's almost identical in style.
It's very yeah. I was gonna say the stylistic choices of it are very similar, but I did feel like Nishijo was funnier. Even though I don't know, people are gonna tell me funnier is not a word. That's fine. I don't care.
It was more hilarious.
No, I'm sticking with funnier.
All right, I'm a vote for Spy
But
Family.
yeah,
Spy
I'll
Family's
agree.
good, yeah.
I'll agree with Spy Family. It's fine. That's all I have to say about this. Didn't watch a lot
Best
of comedies.
action.
Yeah, we got Dan to Dan season 2, Gachi Akata, Kaiju number 8, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and Soul Leveling.
Those are some heavy hitters. Best action. I think of obviously clean animation. I think of good fight choreography. I think of cool characters fighting. Not saying that that's the most important, but it helps.
Yep.
And I'm gonna lean towards Soul Leveling season 2. That's what I'm gonna lean towards. There are some really crazy fights and really well choreographed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm like tossed between My Hero and Soul Leveling, but then I think the reason why the fight scenes are so good in My Hero is because this is like the fight we've been waiting for. It's the final war
It's more
kind
of
of
like the build up that
Yeah, I think the tension and the buildup of like this is finally it. I think that adds to the action. But I think if we're just going like base action, Soul Leveling season 2 for sure.
I think that Gachi Akata
Yeah.
has some cool powers. I really enjoyed the powers that we've been introduced to, the way the power system works so far, but I think
Yeah, we've done the manga like talks and stuff, but have I ever told you about the manga author for Gachiakura? It's like the assistant, or it's even more so than assistant. It's like the protege from the Soul Eater author.
Oh, I didn't know that she was on the Soul
Yeah.
Eater. I've seen some interviews with her, and she seems like quite the character.
Yeah. So the Soul Eater author, I forget his name, but he had quoted essentially that this is like his protege to like continue his work because he's like soft retired. He doesn't intend on doing anymore. So But you can kind of see it in even the way the power system works. It's like, oh yeah, Soul Eater and this, like,
Yeah,
they
that is
have
very
similarities.
similar. Very similar. Yeah. I
But
I
yeah,
kind of like it
I agree with
more.
Soul Leveling.
I kind of like it more in Gacha with like the love and care you
Well, I
have for
feel
an
like
item.
there's more. I feel like there's more, despite the fact that Soul Eater you just have a whole character turning into a weapon.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a good amount of you add more depth to a singular character
Yes, because
with their
why
love for
is
stuff.
that
Because guess what?
object important to them and stuff?
And guess what? People love most people. Unless you're like a minimalist, everyone loves their stuff.
That's true.
There is something that you can think of that you're just like, yes, I am very attached to that thing.
That's fair.
But yeah, I agree with Soul Leveling. To me, it was just like, if we're talking like just like this is an action.
Yep.
That's
And they handled it well. They did.
So
They handled the one thing they needed to handle very well. Best isekai anime. We have. God, I gotta get ready. I got some titles. Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skills, Season 2. Disney Twisted Wonderland, the animation, Season 1, episode of Hearts and Bowl.
Yep.
From the Bureaucrat to Villainous, Dad's Been Reincarnated. Konosuba, God's Blessing on the Wonderful World, 3, bonus stage. Rizio, Starting Life in Another World, Season 3, and Zenshu.
the category's not very close for me, but
I enjoyed Konosuba Season 3.
Konosuba, I always enjoy it, but to me, it's the comedic elements of Konosuba, not the
Overall
actual
story.
setting.
Yeah.
It's not the setting. It's not them being in their world and Kazuma being from another world. That has nothing to do with it. It's just like, oh yeah, he's from another. He essentially becomes like it's less about him being from another world and him being a freaking screw up.
The unfortunate part also is it's taken so long to get Season 3, where there's now so many other isekai that just make fun of isekai, just like Konosuba, where at the time, like Konosuba Season 1 was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the parody elements of it were hitting a lot harder. And to be honest, as much as Konosuba is good, I think there's actually ones to me that do the parodying
even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was an OG. It was the OG. It was an OG.
Yeah, it was definitely
But yeah, I
the
feel like
start of it.
ReZero. It's a little biased. I do love me my ReZero. And Zenshu was good.
I just think ReZero has also like the most depth and still the most potential. Like it's still gonna keep climbing. I know there's actually a lot of people who hate Subaru, but that's besides the point.
They hate Subaru.
Dang.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who hate Subaru as a character because he's a character with faults, and that's bad.
He's
I
not
guess.
broken. He gets broken. Matt has not watched any ReZero yet.
If not, it's on the
He's
list.
beginning
of
his
isekai.
journey of isekai. I
have seen 2 out of 6 on this list, so that's a start.
Okay.
I do want to watch
Friendship
Campfire
status
Cooking in
is-
Another World because that looks like a lot of fun.
Dude, the thing about that one, the thing is, it's one I watched as the seasons were coming out. It's not one I would ever be like, I'm gonna go back and watch.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He's
That's
got
how-
the
that's how I
vending
describe it.
machine under his belt.
I do have season 1 of the vending machine under my belt.
I same thing. I watched the season 1 of that, and then season 2 came out, and I think I watched the first episode, but then I fell off the episodes, and guess what I did? I didn't go back and watch it because I was like, okay,
I
I'm
just
not up to date with it, and then it's gone.
I started season 2, but then I was watching it dubbed, and they switched the voice actor for the vending machine, which is not the end all be all, but it was so like because I was binging it,
Jarring.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I might not go back to it. Obviously, I watched Zenshu, which I really liked, and then obviously I watched the Disney Twisted Wonderland because I read the manga for it, and I was super excited for it.
Fair enough.
But from what I know about ReZero, this does go to ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero.
ReZero. Best drama.
Drama.
I think we together have watched a good chunk of these. We have Anne Shirley, Blue Box, Orb on the Movements of the Earth, Takopi's Original Sin, The Apothecary Diaries, and The Summer Hikaru Died. I have seen all of them.
Dang, I've seen 4 out of 6.
Oh, dude, hands off. I've seen 1, 2. I've seen 2.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Which 2 have you
like,
seen? I'm assuming
So
obviously
I've seen
Apothecary.
Apothecary Diaries and Anne Shirley, and but the thing is, of the ones I haven't seen, I know a good amount about The Summer Hikaru Died. but I've not read the manga. But the main thing is I've heard absurd amounts of good things about the manga before the anime was ever even a thing. And I've only heard good things about Orb. I just never went out of my way to watch it.
Right.
Blue Box, same thing. I'm just so the season of this is like Blue Box has something odd, like 20 something odd volumes just out in English, let alone the Japanese volume. So that's kind of where I sit, where I was just like I was too far ahead of kind of where this was, and I just stuck with the manga instead of watching the anime.
Fair.
So that's kind of what it is. A lot of these Blue Box and Tokubi are the ones where it's just like, I had the manga experience. I didn't feel I needed the anime experience.
That's totally fair. For me, I'm just happy that Anne Shirley's here.
That's what you're
like,
just happy
I-
you got some recognition.
Yeah, because
or-
happy recognition. Obviously, I feel like I'm biased because we're Canadians, but also like I thought it was really well animated,
Okay.
and I thought like it's just a good like drama. But I know the source material, so I think for
I was
me,
gonna say,
just
are
like,
you
it was
attached to
great.
the source materials? Was going to be
Yeah.
my question.
So that's kind of like a bias. So I like as much as I want it to be Anne Shirley, it's probably not.
Okay.
Did you watch like the original Anne Shirley anime?
No, I've seen some of the original Anne Shirley, like clips from it, but I've watched this one and then obviously I've read the books.
That's fair.
But
Have a little bit of attachment.
Dude, anime opening for Anne Shirley, that's a slap.
facts.
It's a good time.
So all the ones I've seen, I mean, Apothecary Diaries, just a good drama, good story. It's always pushing forward. So my vote would go for Apothecary Diaries.
I am a bit of a toss-up between Takopi's Original Sin, The Apothecary Diaries, and Orb. I'm leaning towards Orb just because I feel like it hasn't gotten a lot of recognition in
Okay.
yet. Like, this is the first nomination we've seen. And I think it is a very intense and deep, very philosophical, but fitting. If you've seen the show, but it's very philosophical, and it's. I'm prone to vote for it just because we haven't seen it, and I know that that's not how you should vote. But we did give Tokopi already, and I like all three of
I was
them.
gonna say,
Orb is understandable.
We're balanced voters. We want to see all anime kind of see some aspect of spotlight. I think on my personal voting, I did just do Takubi, even though I didn't see it. I know the original source material, and I know if I was to pick what I think is drama, like the human drama that comes from Takubi, is just, as you said, it like feels to the aspect of elitist, but that's what it is. It gets you really thinking about how humans are.
Yeah, and
what's
Orb
going
is
on. And
Orb is very similar, just different emotions and different gets you thinking in a different way than Takopi does.
So I'll leave it between you guys. If you want to give it to Orb, I'm down to do that.
Orb's
I've
good.
only heard good things. I just never.
All right, we'll give it to Orb.
Next category up is Best Slice of Life. We got Anne Shirley. We got Blue Box. We got City of the Animation. We got My Dress Up Darling Season 2, Spy Family Season 3, and then again, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
We got a couple overlappers for romance, which makes
I felt
sense,
this was
but
pretty
also
much secondary romance.
But secondary drama.
secondary romance, secondary drama in a way. Yeah.
Which I think Anne Shirley fits the slice of life. I mean, I've only seen that one and Spy Family on this list, but I think it literally is so basic where it's just her growing up, and it is like.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I could see that. I could see that. I think I just voted.
I voted Blue Box just because.
On a personal level, it was Blue Box, but I could actually see Anne Shirley. Anne Shirley was my second one.
Yeah, we can give it to Anne Shirley.
Because
it fits the category the best.
It does, yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say it is everything. There's romance, Spy Family, which is an amalgamation of too many different things for me to really stick out as one genre.
I don't think I'd call
comedy.
Spy Family slice of life.
No, it's definitely
it's too complex.
It's
comedy.
episodic, is kind of what it is for a
Very
lot of
much
it.
so.
Like there's the overarching thing, but it's just like Anya going through school with superpowers. I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily
slices of Anne Shirley's life.
No, it literally is
So,
though.
We're giving it the vote.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Next
On
up,
to best main character. We have Izuku Midoriya,
Who?
Mao Mao,
Momo.
Momo, Mao Mao, Momo, Okarun, Arudo, and Sung Jin Woo.
I would like to point out here. I mean, I guess it's because we call him Okarun from like throughout most of the story, but like There's not Deku up there
That is, you make a good point. That is
because his name is Ken Takakura.
yeah, but we're not supposed to call him that.
Yeah, well, yeah, Momo bans it, but
Yeah.
like
So that'd be
anyway,
wrong.
there's no way it's Sung Jin Woo, especially not his second.
Hey, how dare you? He won it last year. How can you say
Yeah,
that?
Shocking. No, it is definitely not him. I'm
Oh.
gonna say I think I voted this way last year. I think it was Mao Mao was also here last year and I voted. I'm gonna vote Mao Mao.
Yeah, I'm
is
also
what I
voting
would
Mao
Mamao's good. Yeah,
Mamao's great.
can't argue with that.
Like she's just a character that you can get behind. Like even a lot of these other ones, they'll have some moments that you can just be like, what the heck, and then one is like barely a character.
Oh, I think one of my
And,
favorite things about Mao Mao too is like she is a good female lead, and she also is
Mhm.
like everyone's rooting for a romance to happen, right? And
I don't care about the romance. I just like Mao
right,
Mao's
you,
sassy ass
but
nature.
but she's like no, she's like every chance she gets, she's like get that out of here, and
Yeah,
I love it. I'm here for
She's
it.
sassy. She's smart. She's trying to pilot her own life in her own way, and she just wants to, potentially. I don't know if she goes out of the way to solve mysteries, but she likes to think about things, solve mysteries, and make medicines and test them. That's
On to
her thing.
best supporting character. Pretty much every single anime we just saw is also back here. We have Engine from Gachakata. We have Gigi from Dan to Dan,
Yeah.
as well as Turbo Granny. Jinshi from Apothecary Diaries, as well as Shisui from Apothecary Diaries. And we have Bakugo making a nice appearance.
not Bakugo.
No? You don't
No.
like Bakugo?
No, I don't mind it. I
No,
just don't like
I don't care for back.
when I think
You
of
don't
my
care
hero.
for the Vegeta archetype?
When I think of my
Yo,
hero
I
supporting
don't-
characters, that's just
I don't think he's as Vegeta. I think Vegeta is better.
You think
Well,
Vegeta's
yeah.
I
better?
think Vegeta never really annoyed me to the degree Bakugo did because Vegeta never wanted to be even to this day doesn't really classify himself as a hero, right?
That's
Vegeta
true.
just does what's best for Vegeta. And Bakugo's like, I'm gonna be a hero, but I'm like kind of a bully and
Exploding
all my
Murder
life
God is not.
yeah, and
Dynamite
he's, like
exploding
Murder God,
Murder-
and even after all the epilogue stuff, nothing's changed. Like, oh yeah, he's a little bit nicer Deku, but his general attitude has not changed. And it's like, I guess it kind of shows with some of the later hero standings in the show where they show it that it's
Or
like,
he's not popular,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, he's not popular, but I still don't. Yeah, I don't like
Because he doesn't have.
overall.
You can at
I'm
least.
not saying he's not well written.
I
I'm just
like
saying
their. I
on a
can
personal
respect
level,
that
I don't
he
like him.
doesn't change for
Yeah.
the hero rankings, which is kind of nice that he's true to himself. I would have liked it if he could have gotten just a bit softer, like picking a real hero name, like
Yeah.
recognizing like that was stupid, Murder God's stupid, in the epilogue stuff.
To me, I almost would have liked Bakugo's character more if they did the unexpected thing of actually him becoming villainous.
Villainous,
That's that. I feel like
I feel like that would have
would've
taken away
respected
from
it
the
more.
main
He-
plot at that point, though.
he was so just a different level of respect to All Might and wanting to be a hero to Deku, just in a different way, in a very bizarre way.
Yeah,
But I couldn't see him being a villain. I think they should have just killed him.
facts.
You want to know what? I'll agree. Kill him.
Yeah.
Good,
No,
good.
but
No,
he-
he
We're
should
all-
no, he
he
should have
should've
died
died.
though.
It could have been a
Oh.
heavy impact in the story.
Yeah, that would have been a turning point, which would have made the story a bit better.
Engine, cool. I like him as a kind of that mentor Kakashi like character. He's
I
very.
agree. I like Engine. My votes here went to the Dan character. Like either Dan.
What?
character is
You
what
and
I would be
Dan
voting for.
Who you
Hey,
want?
this
Turbo
is the
Granny?
only other time I've really
Gigi?
brought it up. I did say Turbo Granny.
You
said Turbo
over-
Granny?
I was gonna
over
go for
Gigi, but I
Jinsui
would
from-
understand if people pick GG instead.
For my personal vote, I did give it to Shisui because I really enjoyed her character through season 2. Well, I liked her when we first got introduced to her, but obviously the way season 2's story goes on, she is very impactful since she's
Yeah,
a
is this
major
the
part of it.
Spoilery stuff you're talking about.
That's correct. That's why I'm only
Yeah.
saying one name.
I'm good with that one too.
Okay, yeah. If you want to give it to Shisui, we can do that. That's fine.
My favorite category.
But I do love Turbo Granny.
Turbo Granny is
That I
great.
said. I think Turbo Granny's and the voice actor
I
is
don't think
Luffy.
Dan
The
Dan
voice
has-
actor is Luffy, right? For the Japanese.
Yes.
Great.
But I was
It's
gonna
so
say,
good.
I don't think Dan to Dan really has bad. There's only one
Oh,
character,
no.
Dan to Dan, that I can kind of be like do without, but he does make for comedic moments.
Well, the fact that they have two main characters in the best character voting and then 2 side characters and the best side.
Yeah, no,
Like the characters are great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Next up, we got Must Protect at All Costs character. We have, surprise, probably never seen this one, Anya Forager. We got Azuka Midoriya.
Why is he there?
We got Karuko Waguri.
Yeah,
That's from Fragrant Flower.
Haruko Wagiri.
Mao Mao from
She doesn't
Apothecary
want you protecting
Diaries.
her.
No. Suka from Dr. Stone. And then,
Suika.
okay. Suika from Dr. Stone. And then Takopi.
I don't think
from-
anyone wants to protect Takopi.
Yeah, Takabi.
He's
Oh,
an agent of
yeah.
chaos.
I was
Even
gonna
though
say,
he
this is
doesn't
weird.
know he is, he's an agent of
Yeah.
chaos.
I haven't seen.
And Deku just really doesn't belong.
No.
Like, I guess it's because like, you know, you're rooting for Deku kind of thing, but like
I mean, he is
He
called like the crybaby hero.
Yeah.
But like in that sense, it's like, oh, I'm always just rooting for Deku to solve his own problem. I'm always happy when Deku like shows that he's like, no, I'm gonna solve things and I'm gonna be the one that is a hero.
I think
you
the
know? That's
answer-
thing I roll for him.
even though I haven't seen Fragrant Flower, it goes to Fragrant Flower because Anya, like, I mean, maybe I'm biased because Anya Forager has won this for the last 3 years in a row.
yeah.
Where I'm just like, no. And then Mama
you're just
wants to
thinking about-
protect themselves. So
if you know Dr. Stone Suiku is cute, like she's worth protecting.
I actually on my personal thing did vote Suika, but I could also my secondary one was for Waguri.
Yeah, we can go for Wagri. I
yeah,
mean,
I haven't seen it, but that just makes the
Anya,
most logical
Anya's starting to
sense.
get annoying, you know?
Exactly. Like, we get it. You are going to be
I mean,
protected.
Well, I was gonna say most protected character. She's always protected. I don't have to worry about her.
And she
Now
has
we have to worry
powers.
about
And
other
she has
people.
powers.
Yeah. To be honest, even the 2 that I picked, Suika doesn't really have any powers, and Waguri is actually a normal person in a normal world.
All right, Wagri it goes to. All right. Here we go. This one. Okay. Every single thing on this is obviously your own personal bias, you know.
Your preference.
Songs are, yeah,
But
this
music
is
is very tough because I'm sure we
Yes.
all have different tastes. So
and I
everything
will say this is best anime
song, just song, yeah.
'cause This is the song.
But
part
music,
of
very
it.
subjective thing. Obviously, this whole list is subjective, but we're trying to be not objective, but we're trying to come to a
Yeah.
consensus. Best anime song. That's just the song. We're not taking into consideration any visuals. We have In Bloom from Apothecary Diaries, Iris Out, Jane Doe, both from Chainsaw Man, On the Way from Dan to Dan, Rewaker from Soul Leveling Season 2, and Watch Me from
Which watch?
Witch Watch. As far as the beeps and the boops that you liked the best,
Iris Out.
Iris Out, Gray.
I said In Bloom, but Iris Out is definitely one on this list. Iris Out is my second pick. The other ones I didn't exactly care for at all.
I am also gonna vote for Iris Out.
It's just such a good.
It's a good bop.
Yeah. It just.
It-
Now, do you think Iris Out was better than, because this is done by the same band who did the first opening for
Yes.
Chainsaw Man? Was this like now we're gonna get into the next category?
It's not. So the way the movie
But-
handled it, they kind of had like a cold opening, and then they kind of jumped to a sequence.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, was it an actual opening for the movie? 'Cause I don't recall it
It's-
being so.
I would call it-
like I didn't watch the movie, but I knew
It's
from
the title
back
sequence
from just
song.
listening
Like
to the
it's
song.
It was
I
the
didn't believe it
title
was an
sequence
opening.
song, like you know, in like Your Name when the song hits and like we're seeing the movie happening still.
Mm.
That's
yeah,
kind
it's
of what it
cold
was like.
open film, and then it jumps in. Title drops. This is the song, and it kind of gives you a montage of what's happening.
Okay.
Then we got best
Alright, yeah, so we'll go
score.
Iris Out.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll go to the next one.
yes,
We
best
don't-
score.
yeah, best score.
Best score.
From the Chainsaw Man movie, we got Dan to Dan season 2, Demon Slayer movie, Gachiakata, Soul Leveling season 2, and Apothecary Diaries season 2.
I think all of these are deservedly here. I really enjoy the Apothecary Diaries overall, the OST. I also I think Soul Leveling did a good job. I think there's some memorable tracks. But some of it's also carryover from season 1. So I don't know like how much that affects voting, because I know in the Oscars, Dune 2 had carryover from
Mhm.
Dune 1 because obviously it's a part 1, part 2. And it didn't end up getting a nominee for that because it was reusing music. So I don't know if that has a big effect on you guys here. And Gachiakata, I
you
think,
know my opinion
had very
about-
unique music. Music I wouldn't pick, but also music that really fit the setting.
I was
Mhm.
gonna say everything was fitting in that. The Gachiaga like soundtrack was well done.
Yeah, it was
overall.
very well. It was it was something that I'm not used to, but then it just worked so well. So for me, I'm pretty much okay with anything except Demon Slayer. Not that Demon Slayer is bad, but you know, it's pretty much the only one I don't want to give it to.
Yeah. My priority or my pick was Dandadan, but obviously my secondary pick would be Gachiaga.
We'll do Gachiakata
Gachiakata.
as much as I
Alright.
kind of want to give it to Demon Slayer, but
Really? What stood out for you for Demon
I think
Slayer?
like I don't know. Obviously, it's a lot of familiar like sounds that we've seen before in Demon Slayer, kind of what you've kind of mentioned with Soul Leveling. But I will say the score, like they did really well with capturing like the emotion that was happening in different scenes.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah,
me,
did
I
you have
think
anything because like for my two, I have like specific like there's two very specific like even just like fight songs for like the Dandadan when we had Evil Eye and Okaron do like their fight where Okaron's trying to get the Evil Eye to stop doing like rampaging. He's just like, okay, there's that fight. That song hits really hard, and then Gachiagata, I think it plays multiple times, but the time I remember it most was when Gita like transforms. I'm like, that song also slaps.
I think for Demon Slayer, I think of when Zenitsu's having his fight and then he like passes out and then the music change, which
That
also
was good.
like
That was good.
like
Yeah.
that moment specifically stands out to me a lot. But I'm trying to think of like the when the one Hashira gets defeated and like her like proteges come to like help too, like that music shift there.
Shinobu.
I couldn't think of her
That
name.
one.
I'm sorry.
I'm hurt.
I haven't actually seen the Demon Slayer movie, so I can't.
We can give it to
comment on
Stab me
the
in
Gachiakata.
the
soundtrack stuff,
heart.
but it's good to know. Good to know that you do have actually something specific. In mind.
Best opening sequence. So obviously this is taking both the beeps and the boops that you'll like potentially, but also matching the beeps and the boops with visuals on screen, whether that's cool visuals, whether that's visuals that are maybe telling a story
Yeah.
or foreshadowing.
That's the thing with this is like we watched these before we did the recording.
Just to get a little bit.
Yeah, and it's tough because if
Familiarize
you
with it.
haven't seen the anime or know anything about the story, the visuals won't play as like an impactful part, right? So
Depends, because sometimes I
Depends.
think
Anime openings can inspire me to watch an anime.
That's very
absolutely.
true.
I think My Hero was leaning a lot more into this is the final season.
yeah,
So it almost felt like nostalgic feeling. I think Soul Leveling, he doesn't tell you anything in terms of like give anything away, but it just showed some cool action scenes with a good song. Gachiakata, I felt like it was a bit messy, the visuals.
yeah. I think it's the
point. It's a messy world.
Yeah, it was trash.
literally.
trash show.
But yeah, it felt a bit messy. It was a fun song,
Yeah,
but the visuals I felt were like a little bit on the weaker side. Dandadan was very solid. I think one of the things against Dandadan is that the first opening was so good. So
It's
I
hard
think
to live
some
up to
people are
that.
kind of like, oh well, it wasn't as good, but it was still good. It was still very solid.
I think we'll see later, but there was something else about Dan that stuck out to me, and it wasn't the opening.
and then the other two were Call of the Night and Witch Watch, which
Watch.
I'm not familiar with either of those. Though they both had good openings. I think the visuals
Yeah,
were pretty.
The Witch Watch I thought was better.
Yeah. For me personally, I'm tossed between My Hero because of like it's all coming up to this moment, the final fight. Like that is very nostalgic in a way. But then yeah, the Reawaker for Soul Leveling Season 2, like it's such a banger. The visuals are crazy. Like it really amps you up for what you're about to watch.
I think it definitely does a great job of getting you hyped for what you're about to
Mhm.
watch. I think it does as far as like, hey, you're about to watch an action show. Let's get your heart pumping. I think it does a great job at that. Whereas My Hero, it's relatively high action season,
Mm-hmm.
but the song is very chill.
See, but I kind of like that though because of the visuals that we're seeing of like this is everything that's kind of happened. These are where the characters were.
We'll get to it,
So
but
you're
there's
like-
a better version of that.
I agree. I do agree with that. That's why I think this goes to, for me personally, the Soul Leveling opening.
I'm also leaning towards the soul leveling, and it's mostly just due to I think I like the song and I think the visuals are solid.
Yeah.
I like both. Where some of them I'm like, the song's but the visuals were good, and vice versa. Like I thought the Gacha Yakuza song is decent, but the visuals were kind of great.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for many of the songs on this list, so it was a lot harder for me to pick a sequence. Like none of these opening sequence was I doing a YouTube thing where I was going back and rewatching it.
Rewatching it, or
and,
or adding it to a playlist,
or watching it every time you watch the show, which is like some people like to do because they like to, people put effort into putting that in. But I'm like, okay, I watched it once. I don't need to watch it a bunch more times unless it actually hits home, which none of these really did.
All right. So we'll give it to
I don't
solo
have
leveling.
an opinion.
And then we're going on to, I think, which is going to be the harder one to decide because I felt like these were all better in a lot of ways, which is the ending sequences.
Yes.
We have Actor, which is the Spy Family. We have Beautiful Colors for Kaiju number 8. We have Dokashiteru for Dan to Dan. I for My Hero Academia. Kawaii. And from My Dress But Darling, and Apex from Solo Leveling Season 2. Now these ones, there were some that had good songs and their visuals were okay. There were some with some amazing visuals and an okay song, and then there's one that was and then the rest had kind of both going from.
Which one was Which one did you think was
I think the Solo Leveling one was kind of It was very, when me and Matt rewatched it, I remember the song, like the first 10 seconds of the song, and then I remember nothing of
Nothing else?
There was no recollection of any other part of that. And then as we were watching, I'm like, what are we even being shown?
Yeah, the visuals were.
And I've read past in the manhwa, like past where we are, and I'm just like, I don't even know what we're referencing. So didn't like that.
Beautiful Colors for Kaiju number 8. Great song. Visuals kind of lacking a little bit with like.
I did like the beat when they hit the colors on the course,
Yeah.
and then the colors show up.
Yeah,
That
literally
was
when
cool.
they say beautiful colors show up. But just like the random like half screen stuff was kind of weird. Like there was just too much like, I don't know.
I think
That's
they
just
were trying to
personal
create
preference.
space because like the original group is separated. I think that's kind of what they're going for, but
I don't know if it hit though.
Well, my vote
Yeah,
is gonna be
Dan to
for
Dan?
the Dan to Dan one. The stylistic choice. They did a different animation style and a different art style.
Lots of panning.
And
They weren't the only one though.
song-
No, there was a lot of panning.
No, they weren't the only one.
I mean, Dress Up Darling
But-
and My Hero both also did completely different art styles.
Yeah.
and
I actually like when they do that for especially for the endings. I feel like the endings seem to do it better than even the openings. So the openings is just supposed to give you an intro to the show. The ending's supposed to wind you down.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the visuals and everything just made sense to me in terms of the songs, even of the previous songs that we had just seen. I actually feel like this song is also the one that resonates most with me. Like, it's a good song.
Yep.
Song I actually would actively listen to.
Dress Up Darling, the song was okay. It didn't really, I wasn't vibing with it, but I really loved the visuals. I thought they were really cute. Had a really different color palette as well, with more of like the light blue and pinks. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I enjoyed it. My Hero, I think, did both, where it had a song I really enjoyed by Bump of Chicken. Always love me a Bump of Chicken song. And it did what Matt was saying about the opening sequence,
But better.
but better because it's not previewing a season. It's
the
ending.
entire.
And it basically just showed different clips from throughout My Hero Academia, like big moments throughout the entire series, while also just kind of showing Deku as a kid and growing up at the same time. And I just thought that it was like really beautiful with the Bump of Chicken song.
I would agree with that. And I think it being like the ending sequence, being the ending season, is just like a reminder of like how far you've come and like this is it. Like this is the end.
And even more fitting when the final episode finishes and then that's the ending and you see the whole kind of. I think that was really well done from I don't know who was in charge, if it was the director or
well done.
the music. I don't know who, but they did a really great job. To Gray's point, the Dan to Dan was also really cool. I really enjoyed the panning around, seeing the characters, and then also changing where they were as well with the pan. It was really smooth. I think I just give the slight edge over to the My Hero ending.
Sames. Couple more categories left. We got best voice actor, artist, best voice artist performance for Japanese.
You got there.
Do we know
Here you go,
who?
dude. Round 2.
Here we go.
Here we go, round 2.
I
Fight.
don't know who some of these are actually voiced, like which characters they voice. So Connor, you may have to help me out with that. We got Aoi Yuki
Oh, Yuki.
Mao Mao.
Mao Mao.
from Apothecary Diaries. We got Chiaka Kobayashi from Summer Hikaru Died.
Yeah.
Yoshitake.
And then we got
Yoshiki.
Yoshiki.
we got Daki Yamashita from My Hero.
Yeah, and that's Midoriya.
We got Ki Kunosuke Toya.
Denji.
Yep.
Denji.
From Chainsaw. Mayumi Tanaka.
You should know that one.
Luffy.
Yep. Then we got Reina Iada from Chainsaw Man.
Yuda, Yada,
Re-
yeah. That's
Rina
Reza.
Iada.
Rize.
Okay. Well, Gray has not seen Chainsaw Man season 2, but he has seen Chainsaw Man
It's
season
not
1.
a season 2, it's a movie.
Yes. It's season 2. I have bad news for you.
It's a movie. I haven't seen
But
it.
you at least know Denji's voice actor because you've seen season 1.
Yes.
Luffy is always great. Iconic
Yep.
voice. I don't know if I can really vote for it, but
You
tip of the
could,
hat.
though.
Tip of the hat. Iconic. My vote goes to, I believe, Aoyuki for Mao Mao, but I would also be okay with giving it over to Chiaki Kobayashi because he did a really great job in The Summer Hikaru Died.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely felt the emotions.
Yeah.
Very conflicted character throughout the show. So, and I think he did a really great job of showing that through his voice performance.
I'd go for Summer Hikaru Died.
I'll leave it up to you guys. I voted for Luffy partially.
Because you love Luffy.
Well, no, partially in my mind is because you were talking about the fact that we have the new rendition of One Piece coming out, and Mayumi Tanaka has actually said
She doesn't want to do it.
that she's not doing it.
But they want her to do it. They're like trying to push her to
No,
do it.
they're like you gotta do it, and she's like, no.
No, I don't. I'm old. I'm not even done the first version of doing him.
Exactly. She's like, look, I've been doing this for years. We're not even done, and now you're like, yeah, do it again.
Do it again.
So, and yeah.
And our second to last category or our last category?
Last category, I believe, which is Best Voice Artist Performance in English. We got Alexis Tipton, who did Rize from Chainsaw Man. Emmy Lou, who did Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries. Justin Briner, who did Uzuki Midoriya. We got Lucian Dodge, who is Akaza from Demon Slayer. We got Morgan Berry from Sanda, who did
you got that.
Shori Funimura. And then we got Paul Castro Jr., who did Hikaru. This is kind of tough.
I haven't seen a single. Actually, the only dub I've seen of this is parts of the first season of Apothecary Diaries. Everything, or actually, and some of My Hero, but everything else I've not seen.
I've seen all
any
6 of
bits of.
these.
I've seen.
Oh, I see.
I've not seen the dub of Chainsaw Man the movie. I have seen the dub for Demon Slayer. I have seen the dub for Apothecary Diaries. I've seen the dub for My Hero and Sanda.
You know this guy from Demon Slayer? This demon?
Funny story. We went to
Here we
Demon
go.
Slayer movie to see the Japanese movie and sub, and the dub started playing.
and about 25 people got up and left.
Well, that's what happened first. First off, people were kind of all like, wait a second. This is English.
This isn't what I paid for.
So
I mean, it's
obviously,
not.
since it was a dark theater and no one could see me, I said, no, you all just understand Japanese now.
Oh, funny. Haha.
And then like 15 to 20 people left. And then
Well, there was a bunch of people that went back and they're like, oh, like they wanted to get it like
complain, to
changed.
see if they would change
Yeah.
the
And then
film.
some guy came back and was like, they're not changing it. And then just like
people left.
people just got up and left.
So we stayed because like we don't care. Like we're gonna watch it sub dub,
Yeah, whichever.
so we're fine. And we ended up getting a free movie anyways when we left.
Yeah, because it just like
For a
popped you
movie
at
we
the
were
end.
gonna see potentially. The only reason we were seeing it in sub was because it just was the best time.
Yeah.
If dub ended up being
I was
the
gonna
best
say,
time,
that's also why you guys didn't leave, is because you're just like, I carved out this time in my schedule to fit this in, so this is what I'm watching.
It's not the end.
well,
all
and it's
be
just
all.
like for us, it's just timing wise. Like it worked best to see at this time on this day,
Yeah.
and it just so happened to be the sub. If it was a dub, it would have been the dub.
Yep.
We've seen movies back to back, sub and a dub.
Exactly.
Like, we're sickos like that. So
yeah. Weathering with you.
I was gonna say, I definitely watched, and I feel it's pretty staple. You watch a lot more dubs when you're first getting into anime, and then you kind of migrate to subs. But there are like certain people who are definitely like elitist in the sub direction.
we happen to know one.
yes,
Our friend Evan.
but
Just
when it
throwing him
comes
under the
down
bus.
to-
Our friend Evan is one of those.
when it comes down to it, I'm like,
If it's available
I
in
feel
dub,
like they're-
I oftentimes watch it in dub.
Same.
No, I do watch. Even if dubs are available, I will watch subs. But I will always give dubs like a chance. There's times where if I watch a show
Yeah.
and I like the show, I will go back and give the dub a try.
See how it is.
There are times where the dub doesn't work.
And there's
me,
times where it's
but
great.
That doesn't. And there's times where it's great. There's times where the dub is better. You will not get me to watch, for example, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in sub.
No, fair enough.
I don't like it.
Speaking of our friend Evan, he did say that if that situation happened to him, he'd be one of the guys
It's
leaving.
crazy.
leaving the theater.
Dude, not without you, he wouldn't.
Well, true.
He could
But
sit-
in a
sit in the-
situation where he could, he would
Yeah.
leave.
I think for me, when it comes to dubbing, I think if I start the show in dub, there's a higher chance like I'm just gonna keep watching it in dub, which obviously sometimes sucks because usually if you're watching like a seasonal anime of season 2, the dub's usually like 3 weeks behind.
Yeah.
Um,
The simul dub is 3 weeks behind or
yeah.
2 weeks behind, whatever.
which is tough sometimes because sometimes I want to skip ahead, but I'm just so used to certain voices,
Oh,
voicing
no, I'm
certain
watching it sub.
characters. Like, depends on the show.
Yeah, I'm very similar to Gray, where if a show is dubbed, I'm usually watching it dubbed. Like, say, it's been out for a few years and there's a dub of it, I'll
Yeah.
watch it. And sometimes it's bad and I'll just then switch to sub, but there's other times where I'll watch it dubbed, and if I like it, then I will rewatch it. Pretty much the opposite of Gray, where I'll watch it dubbed, and then I'll end up rewatching it sub just to see how it was originally. Because I watch so many seasonals in Japanese, so it is just
Yeah.
nice to watch stuff in English as well. But yeah, my vote's gonna go to Justin Briner just because there's that nostalgia feel. He's bringing the character to the end. He's done a great job. Iconic voice now for another shonen character that they grew up with. A lot of people are gonna. My Hero is gonna be one of their shows that they just know or reference all the time, similar to people referencing like Naruto or
Yeah.
One Piece. That they're like, My Hero was one of my gateway anime that I ended up watching and I grew up watching, and I loved it. And it's always gonna be an iconic voice to them. So I'm that's where I'm leaning. I don't know about you guys.
I agree. Because I also just like don't know anything about most of the other ones.
Fair enough.
And
Matt,
and I listened to him, and he didn't make me upset.
We can go for, yeah.
he's got a good
Justin
whiny
Briner.
voice for when Deku's crying.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say whine. Like he fits the I don't know how it really pertains to later, because that's the thing. I only watched like the early seasons. He fit the meekness of Deku early on. He's closing out My Hero. I'll just be like, yeah, he probably did a good job throughout most
Yeah.
of it.
I want to give Sanda some shout out to it, but like, yeah, Justin Briner is the way to go.
Yeah, he did a great job. But yeah, that has been our voting for the Crunchyroll Awards. It's a bit of a longer episode. I mean, to be expected. But yeah, I guess we go over what we voted?
Yeah, we can. We'll throw an Instagram post up.
We'll throw up an Instagram post. You heard it from Matt. You'll just have to go through. We'll try our best to maybe timestamp each segment of the voting if you want to go back to it. But Gray, thanks for coming on. I feel like we're actually going to be seeing you quite soon, as we have a couple things in the pipeline that will be involving you. So if you like Gray, be ready for more Gray. If you don't, well,
suck it up.
Suck it up and get more Gray.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to comment down below what you guys all voted for, why we're wrong. We're ready. We can take it. Exactly. And don't forget to join our Discord, where you can literally put the picture of your votes and share it with us, and we'll share ours with you. But until next week,
keep on keeping on.
Keep it on. There you go. Keep on keeping on.
And we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you. And see you next week.